Okay, we're in part 2 of Journey Through Jude, and we're taking a look at the examples Jude's giving us of things that we knew before, but we really need to remember because certain men have crept in, and it's affecting us because they're not noticed. So it talks about strange flesh, and I know this is where a lot of people point out homosexuality, if they've gone after strange flesh, because man and women are were created for each other, right? So I wanted to look that up, and the actual word that it's translated from, when it says strange, it refers to the Hebrew word refers to unauthorized, foreign, or profane. So God didn't authorize homosexuality. He actually labels it as a sin, right? But he also doesn't authorize bestiality. He doesn't authorize adultery or fornication. Um, it's only between marriage, right? So there's all kinds of strange flesh that is profane, unauthorized, or foreign. So that's interesting. And they set forth, this resulted in suffering and the vengeance of eternal fire. It's so cool because in Deuteronomy, the Bible tells us, well, there's a lot of verses that talk about God being a consuming fire. And the Bible also says that vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Well, fire got me thinking about strange fire. There's another thing called strange, right? Remember Aaron's sons in the priesthood? They were to go and um, do the fire with the altar of incense, but for some reason they brought a strange fire. We don't really have the details, but by here I can see it was not an authorized fire. It was foreign, it was profane. So it doesn't matter if we think this is the right thing or not, or this is the best way or not. If God gave us specific directions, we should follow them, or it's unauthorized. It's profane, it's strange, and it is met with the suffering of the vengeance of eternal fire, which, they were immediately destroyed when they brought that strange fire before God. So it goes on to say, likewise, also these dreamers, okay, now we're still talking about the men that crept in unaware. These dreamers defile the flesh. They reject authority and speak evil of dignitaries. Okay, wow, that's a lot to unpack. Let's take a look at, why does he call them dreamers? So I had to look up the word that this is translated from, and I cannot even pronounce it, y'all. But it actually says to be beguiled with sensual images and carried away to an impious course of conduct. Well, the word is in Strong's, it's G1797. And I know that sensual is related to our feelings. So they're beguiled with feelings. Their images are carried away, emotionally. They're just carried away to an impious course of conduct. I had to look up the word impious. And it actually means having no respect or reverence, especially to a God. So if we're carried away by our feelings and our emotions to a point that we're not showing any respect or reverence to God in the way we act, that would definitely be strange, wouldn't it? That would be unauthorized. And if we're caught up in those emotions and feelings, then we wouldn't notice it, would we? Huh. Well, it goes on to say here that they reject authority and speak evil of dignitaries, yet Michael the archangel, in contending with the devil, when he disputed about the body of Moses, he dared not to bring against him a reviling accusation, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." Now that was interesting to me because I was brought up and told in the different denominations that I attended. And you see it today on bumper stickers and t-shirts, "Not today, Satan," that we just flat out can talk back to him ourselves. I mean, I would stomp him under my feet, tell him to get behind my back. I would blame every bad thing in my life on the devil, and it never occurred to me to even ask the Lord, "Father, why are you allowing this? What is happening in my life that I need to see, that I need to learn?" Because since then, I've read story after story that tells me God turns me over to things. It's not always Satan. So, wow. So even the head of the angels here, the archangel Michael, when he contended with the devil, he dared not bring against him a reviling accusation. He simply said, "The Lord rebuke you. The Lord rebuke you." That was interesting. But these speak evil of whatever they do not know. And whatever they know naturally, that would be in the flesh, like brute beasts in these things, they corrupt themselves. Woe to them. Woe to them. We're going to break that down in a part 3 because that gets pretty deep too. So join me in the next Journey to Jude, part 3.